Hey guys, on to day 2 of the Call to Arms reports, up against my Wellingtonian rival Mike Snook, and me and Mike have played in some very interesting games before. The score is 3 wins to me, 2 wins to him. We first met a couple of years back when I was playing one of my very first tournaments and managed to beat him in turn 2, Chromac assassinating Denegra. Ever since, we've been having some really interesting and close games. Last year's Call to Arms was Vlad against Efiora, and really interesting time with him not managing to kill the Conquest. But this time he is playing Crix, has gone back from Meneth to Crix, and he's playing eSkarre and pSkarre as his two casters, and for this game choosing eSkarre as I predicted that he would. I've decided to play Epic Sorcerer. Just a few comments about the matchup itself. Obviously, I'm very worried about backlash on the Conquest. If he does use the mini feat on the Styxis Raiders and charge a lot of them in there, Sorcerer could die, but I'm not really worried about that so much because the Winter Guard will kill a lot of the Styxis, will also screen the Colossal. He doesn't have any way to remove the Iron Flesh on the Winter Guard in either of his lists. In fact, he's actually playing some fairly soft Crix lists, if I dare say so myself. It's not that Scar's a soft caster or that Crix are a soft faction, but he doesn't have any Bane Thralls, doesn't have any Withershadow Combine, doesn't have any Warwitch Sirens, and so on. He's playing the sort of girl power sort of Crix. He's got the Deathjack, though, and a Leviathan. Also quite like that he's got the Blood Witches, and I do have access to Iona and Holt in this list, correctly subbing them in for the Widowmakers and dropping the Widowmakers this time, as opposed to last time I cranked out Sorcerer. So let's just get straight into it. We'll go to the next photo where his army is assembled here. He's got a couple of support solos back there and the Night Wretch, but generally the army is as you see it, and it should be quite a tough game. Next image, we've both had a turn here, moving out pretty steadily. I think, in fact, this is my first turn. He hasn't played his one yet, so just getting Iron Flesh up on the Winter Guard. They've got some heavy lifting to do here with their CRAs. I'm going to rely on Joe's 3d6 attack rolls. And the CRAs, of course, to kill the Styxis, who are defense 16 against shooting. And planning on going around the right-hand flank with the Great Bears. I do have access to the magical attacks, as I mentioned, against the Blood Witches. The main problem this game is going to be the Deathjack, Joe, though under eSkarre's feat, Deathjack is going to get the Alpha Strike on the Conquest, and I'm just hoping that I'm going to be able to repair him well enough to actually finally get an attack back on him after the feat has expired, either with the Conquest himself or a combination of the Great Bears and the support crew. Next image, Mike deciding to spread out with his army quite a fair bit. I thought that perhaps he would engage the Winter Guard with some of the Styxis, but he decided not to. This will mean that I can just continue moving around there and getting some shots off. And although he may have 4 or 5 guys left, I don't think that'll be enough to actually destroy destroy my castle with backlash there. And Deathjack moving in on me. Don't really want to, spend a lot of time avoiding the Deathjack because it's inevitable that he's going to get Perdition off and send him in there. But the main thing is just to try and get Black Oil on the Deathjack somehow and stop him from attacking a second time. So next image, having cracked off a few shots here with the Winter Guard, most of the Styxis are dead. Deathjack still hanging out there, and the Conquest getting a shot off on the Night Wretch and blasting it back with the... actually, no, the shot with the Conquest was against the UA for the Styxis, getting the range in, boosting to hit it, and managing to kill us, so I was quite lucky with that one. Very happy to get rid of the UA because that gets rid of Power Swell. Next image here, we've seen a Perdition here with the Deathjack, very predictably I should say, and this will allow him to then move in base contact with the Conquest and start whacking at him. So that is indeed what happens. If you go to the next photo, if you look at the left hand side, there's the Conquest who is in base to base with the Deathjack, and we're using large base to just represent the actual physical location of the Deathjack because of his annoying arms. Deathjack does attack the Conquest, destroying half of its damage boxes plus some more, but unfortunately Gorman has come too close to Scar, and Scar's actually put a feat token on Gorman as well as the Deathjack, so I can't Black Oil him like I intended to. Interestingly enough, though, the Deathjack is stationary and frozen because of eSorcerer's Warjack bond, so I'm at least allowed to move the Conquest out of base contact with the Deathjack. I can't attack him, but I can shoot the gun elsewhere. Iris has been surrounded by blood witches, but that's not going to be a problem because I am going to be able to kill them and then move Iris over there to stop allocation to the Deathjack, and that will hopefully save the Conquest's life. Next photo here, what's happened is Sorsha has moved up with the help of a boost from Reinhold and Wishnailer and cast a freezing grip into combat against the Blood Witches themselves, which means the Great Bears are able to move up and just mop up most of them. And that does clear the way for Iris to move in against the Deathjack a little bit later. Next image just shows you sort of the end of turn situation. All of the Blood Witches have been destroyed, including the UA. Deathjack is fine because of the feat token, and Gorman moves well out of the way so he can perhaps Black Oil next turn. Mechanics have moved in and healed quite a lot of damage off the Conquest, but he's still hurting pretty badly, so we'll see if the Deathjack can kill him. He's going to get, I think, 2 soul tokens from his claws, perhaps plus a third one from killing one of my guys the previous turn, and no regular focus allocation, but he's got the Leviathan to shoot at me as well. So next photo, Deathjack does move around here, starts whacking at me, and does get some pretty good damage rolls. Not quite killing me, but getting me fairly close to death after his few swipes there. So if you look at the next photo after that, the Leviathan does move in and gets just enough damage to kill me, so unfortunately I'm going to have to play the rest of the game without the Conquest. It could be tough, but if Sorsha can pull her feet off correctly, this will be okay. Winterguard's still doing pretty well. We've reduced the field to just 2 Septixes at the stage, and have severely damaged the Night Wretch and put a little bit of damage on the Leviathan as well. Next photo here, I've actually attempted to crack off the feet, but managed to screw things up because Sorsha went first and popped the feet, and Ayana then moved around to try and get Kiss of Lilith onto him, but I had forgotten to move away my Winterguard from base contact, and of course with the Deathjack's 360 vision, he counted as being in combat, so not only did he have combat from some angles, he's got the wall bonus. So very, very annoying here that I couldn't kill the Deathjack with the feet. The plan was simply to drop his armor, then fire off some CRAs with the Winterguard and do massive damage to him. But as it happens, didn't really manage to do much damage to him at all. Took out one arm with the CRAs under the feet, but didn't destroy him. And had I destroyed him, this game would be in the bag, but unfortunately not the case. Next photo, some more happenings here. Great Bear's getting involved, killing some of his guys on the right-hand side there. Gorman has managed to move up and black oil the Leviathan, I think, at this point, and the Deathjack has moved away from Gorman so that he can continue contesting the zone and continue killing my Winterguard, and obviously repairing every time he does, which is extremely annoying. Next photo, seeing the battlefield situation that he's moved away with Deathjack, Sorsha has cast Windrush, Cyclone, and moved over to the flag, scoring me 1 point here. The right-hand side of the field is looking pretty good. He can obviously move over here with Scar, but I've got more support troops at the side, so I should be able to start scoring pretty handily. And what he's going to have to do is start moving the Deathjack over to the other side of the flag. If he does that, though, I can actually start scoring from the main zone, because I'll have killed the Leviathan by that point. Gorman here throwing black oil on the Leviathan, allowing me to start blapping him with Holt and Ayana and the Great Bear. Next image, what Scar does here is she runs, so in this photo she's actually not attacking me, but she's run directly to the flag with her massive speed allowance and sent the Necrosurgeon, well, the proxy Necrosurgeon over here as well. And both of us are camping max focus at this point, so really I think the best plan is for me to just try and camp focus and hope that Scar doesn't kill me, although she's got a very good shot at it, and dominating the flag with some of my support crew. One plan that I thought of at the time that I should have gone for, but didn't really occur to me, was just to simply drop Iron Flesh from the Winterguard and put it on Sorsha to make it really hard for Scar to actually get me, because I would have gone up to defense 19, which means that she may well have missed me with most of her attacks. So next image, I've decided to camp here over the left hand side. The Deathjack is still sort of skirting around, but luckily I'm able to move Gorman to the wreck and throw another black oil at him, so that will black oil him, and surviving with a few Winterguard left. The Leviathan is destroyed, though, thanks to me charging him with just about everybody that I've got left. Next image, the moment of truth. Scar does have a knockdown weapon, so she attacks me with that first, misses the first attack, buys and attacks again, just trying to knock me down before she gets the damage in, knocks me down on the second attack, and starts boosting at me with Life Trader, reducing Sorcerer to maybe 5 or 6 boxes left. He was very, very unlucky with the damage rolls. We were looking at the odds of him killing me here, and he had some very good odds of killing me, but he didn't manage it. So it wasn't a sure thing, but it was pretty worthwhile going for it. Didn't pay off though, so I am able to continue scoring at this point. Next photo, with the Deathjack in a bit of a bad way. Ayana and Holt move in, luckily passing the terror check. Ayana successfully drops a not a black oil, Kiss of Lilith on him. Holt shoots him twice. The Great Bears both charge in and wreck him. So that means I score another point from this zone and another one from the flag, and that's it. Managing to win without Scar having another crack at me. So quite a close game, as you could see. He did have a legitimate assassination run and happened to fail it. So got a little bit lucky there, but I thought I played kind of well in a few situations and certainly botched it up in other situations. Mike's list wasn't as good as it could have been, but he was just having a bit of fun, and obviously full respect from dragging out a bit of a themey sort of army, not in terms of the theme list, but the models. So it was a pleasure to play him, and it was still undefeated going into round number 6. See you guys there.